AI may be making you look smarter while quietly making you less accurate about yourself. That is the uncomfortable part, not that AI gives bad answers. Not that using AI is lazy. Not that technology is destroying your brain overnight. The problem is more subtle. You ask AI to summarize a paper, explain a concept, solve a problem, write a draft, compare two ideas, or give you a decision. The answer comes back clean. It has structure. It sounds confident. It connects ideas you would not have connected that quickly on your own. And because the answer makes sense, while you read it, you feel like you understand it. But then something strange happens. Someone asks you to explain the idea without the AI, or you try to solve a similar problem from memory, or you need to make a judgment in a messy, real situation. And suddenly the confidence disappears. You had access to a good explanation, but you did not build the ability that explanation was supposed to create. This gap is what I want to talk about in this video. The problem is not that AI gives you answers. The problem is that AI can improve your task performance while weakening the feedback signals you need to judge your own understanding. In other words, AI can make you better at getting through a task while making you worse at knowing whether you could do it yourself. That is a dangerous trait if you do not notice it, because when answers become cheap, the rare skill is no longer finding information. The rare skill is knowing what you actually understand. Think about your normal daily study session. You are reading something difficult, maybe it is a legal argument, a math problem, a technical paper, or even a book chapter. You feel friction, so you paste it into AI and ask, explain this simply. Or maybe another better prompt, but the key is AI gives you a clean answer, you read it, you nod, the friction disappears. Then you move on. From the outside, this looks like learning. You were confused. Then, with the help of AI, you are less confused. You completed the task faster. You might even answer a question correctly with AI beside you. But learning is not the same as reduced friction. This is where the research becomes interesting. In a recent study on AI and metacognition, participants used ChatGPT to answer logic questions. Their performance improved, but their self-assessment became distorted. They became more confident than their actual independent ability justified. Even more surprising, people with higher AI literacy were not protected from this. In that study, higher AI literacy was associated with worse metacognitive accuracy. That matters because many people assume the danger is only for beginners. They think, I understand AI, I know how to prompt it, I know its limits. But technical familiarity is not the same as self-knowledge. Knowing how to operate a tool does not mean you can accurately judge what part of the result came from you, what part came from the model, and what part you could reproduce without help. This is the hidden capability gap. AI can raise your assisted performance, but it can blur your sense of ownership. You do not just outsource work. You outsource a struggle that tells you what you do, not yet understand. The mechanism is called cognitive offloading. That phrase sounds technical, but the pattern is simple. Instead of holding a problem in your mind, testing possible answers, making mistakes, correcting yourself, and feeling where your understanding breaks, you hand the hard part to an external system. Sometimes this is useful. We have always used external systems. We use notebooks, calculators, search engines, maps, calendars, and other people. So the point is not that offloading is bad. The point is that different kinds of offloading train different kinds of minds. If you use a calculator after you understand the operation, it saves time. If you use it before you understand the operation, it can hide the fact that you never learned the operation. AI creates a stronger version of this because it does not just store information. It produces explanation. It sounds like reasoning. It gives you the feeling of a complete thought. And fluent explanation creates a specific illusion. The illusion that reading a good explanation is the same as owning the understanding behind it. Cognitive scientists have studied this for years under a related idea called the illusion of explanatory depth. People often believe they understand complex systems more deeply than they actually do, until they are asked to explain them step by step. AI can intensify that illusion because it supplies the step-by-step explanation for you. The explanation is visible, the structure is clean. the answer feels complete. But the completion happened outside your mind. That means you may lose the very cues that normally calibrate learning: hesitation, recall, failure, weak examples, messy reasoning, wrong turns, and revision. Those cues feel inefficient, but they are not waste, they are feedback. This is why short-term performance can improve while long-term capability does not. One study in high school mathematics found that students with access to GPT performed much better during practice. With AI available, their practice scores jumped sharply, but when AI access was removed and students had to solve problems independently, the group that had used the standard AI interface performed worse than the control group. That is the exact pattern we need to understand. AI helped them perform, but the kind of help matter. When the system gave more teacher-like hints instead of direct answers, the negative effect was reduced. In some cases, the guarded tutoring design supported learning more effectively. So the lesson is not never use AI. The lesson is that learning requires necessary difficulty, not pointless suffering, not pretending tools do not exist, not doing everything the slowest possible way. Necessary difficulty means the learner still has to retrieve, explain, choose, test, and revise. If AI removes all of that, you may get the answer without the adaptation. There is also early neural evidence that points in the same direction, though it should be treated carefully. A preprint from MIT compared people writing essays with ChatGPT with search and with no tool. The no tool group showed stronger brain connectivity during the task, while the ChatGPT group showed weaker engagement and later struggled to quote their own writing. That study is not the final word. It is a preprint. It has sample size limits, and researchers have raised methodological concerns. But it fits a larger pattern we already have stronger evidence for. When the tool does too much of the cognitive work, your assisted output can look good while your internal model remains thin. You produce something, but production is not the same as ability. AI can be a handle, or it can be a crutch. A handle helps you lift more weight while you still apply force. A crutch carries weight you are no longer training yourself to carry. The difference is not the tool, the difference is the interaction. When you ask AI, give me the answer, and accept the first clean response, AI becomes a crutch. When you ask AI, challenge my reasoning, find the weak assumption, give me a harder example, or test whether I can explain this, AI becomes a handle. The same model can either protect your thinking or replace it. So do not ask only, did AI help me finish? Ask a better question. What part of my capability improved because I used AI? If the answer is nothing, you may have only borrowed competence. Borrowed competence feels powerful in the moment because it lets you move faster than your current ability. But if you borrow every step, you never find the edge of your own skill. And if you never find the edge, you cannot revise it. This is where many AI users get trapped. They collect better summaries, better prompts, better workflows, and better outputs. But their judgment does not become sharper, their memory does not become stronger, their explanations do not become clearer, their independent work does not improve. They are surrounded by intelligence, but their own capability is not compounding. That is AI-assisted mediocrity. It is not stupidity. It is a comfortable loop where the tool gets better, the output gets smoother, and the human stops receiving the friction that would have made them stronger. So, how to fix the bug? The practical experiment is simple. For the next 7 days, do not stop using AI. Use it differently. Before you ask AI for an explanation, write your own explanation in 5 sentences. It can be rough, it can be incomplete, it can be wrong. That is the point. You are creating a visible version of your current understanding. Then ask AI to critique it, not replace it, not summarize the topic, not give you the polished answer. Ask, what is unclear in my explanation? What assumption am I making? Where would this fail? Give me one question that tests whether I really understand this. After that, close the AI window and rebuild the answer from memory. This last step matters. If you cannot reconstruct the idea without the tool, you probably received an explanation, but you did not yet convert it into ability. Don't worry about it. It's normal. And it is just data. The goal is not to use less AI. The goal is to make every AI session leave a trace inside your own mind. A sharper question, a better distinction, a small piece of independent use. That is what real learning feels like in the AI age. Not faster answers, not smoother outputs, not the feeling of being intelligent because an intelligent system is nearby. Real learning is when your future behavior changes after the tool is gone, so the next time AI gives you a brilliant answer, pause before you move on. Ask yourself one question: could I explain this, use this, or rebuild this without help? If the answer is no, you are not finished, you are at the exact place where learning begins. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video and have a good day. See you next time.